gonna talk about another topic, kind of like piggybacking on what David said in one of his videos recently. TL did not get to like exit the league or exit the split in front of any fans because they're in the closet. And I think it was Arsh maybe on Twitter said that the LTA, that the cost for playing in the closet is almost identical to the cost it is to run it on the main stage. My question is, when does it become a point of preserving that funding to try and do a a roadshow at the end of the split and just maximize the amount of games you could do by going online? I wanted to kind of get what would be your would you be in favor of the LCS going online, or do you still think this is what you kind of need now?
So last year, I'll get to your answer, but I'll give a little bit of context. Last year, when Mark Z was still doing his lives and actually, interacting with the community, right? When LCS was on the up and up, before what happened, he actually said something. He said, "Look, our viewership is up. You're like now you're saying how many of those viewers are from this or that," and he's like, "You're just moving the goalpost. Our priority was, can we get the viewership to increase? We did that. Then we can start moving into other things. Okay, can we get the North American one to increase? Can we get the European? Right? Let's just focus on what the goal was." In 2023, I was championing, and in 2024, hey, I don't want to see, but I don't want to see us on the weekends. Sorry. I don't want to see us on weekdays. I want to see us on weekends. Weekends is so much better. Your camera just doesn't like what I'm saying. Yeah. I'll get to a good point, I promise. I kept, a lot of people were championing, hey, the fact that we are on weekdays is horrible for the league. Please, can we be on weekends? And they did it. And the way that they were able to do it is they had to compromise, and they had to say, okay, sometimes we won't have a crowd. Sometimes we're going to have to be in the closet. And that was the compromise. And we said, sure. And a year later, we're moving the goalposts, and we're like, why are we in the closet? We already know why we're in the closet. I am of the opinion that as the ecosystem is right now, I'm okay with that. Just keep it on the weekends. Because I'll tell you what they're not going to do. In a hypothetical world, sure. But I'll tell you what they're not going to do. They're not going to give us more games if we go online. They just aren't. Because at the end of the day, you still have to pay the people. You still have to, I don't think they look at it from the sense of okay, what if we take this budget and split it over doing all these? They just don't. They're like, oh, what if we can get rid of that and just save them? What if we go online and then save ourselves $10,000 a day and then don't add more days? That's what they have historically done. So I'm not willing to open the door and say, hey, let's go online so we can get more days of games, because I don't think that's going to happen. I think what ends up happening if we go online is we're going to have Saturday, Sunday online instead of playing in the closet. And that budget is going to disappear. So for me, I'm okay. It sucks that we have to play in the closet, but I'd much rather play in the closet and play on the weekends and maybe have a little bit of a better format where we can get a few more games in, maybe add an extra week so we can get, a little bit more games than going online and then all of a sudden not having any sort of weeks in the studio and then saying, oh, they're going to do a roadshow, and then they do a crappy roadshow for 2,000 people, and then they're like, oh, see, we gave you guys what you wanted, it's not working, league is dying. That's just my opinion.
My only problem with remaining in the closet and the current thing is it's progressively getting worse and worse in sense of the number of times we are in the closet versus VCT Americas. And I understand the trajectory that Valorant is going in comparison to North American League Legends, but at some point you have to strip it back. I know Riot historically will make the worst decision out of a decision that can be great, i.e., these formats. Like we have 3 splits, great. What are these formats? Like, my fear is like, yes, we keep it as it is now, but these formats aren't going to improve next year. I think we're still going to get something that we're going to be begging in 2027. Can we get a different format? Because I don't have faith that they're going to, like, yes, in the LEC they've admitted that their summer split format sucks. Are Riot and A going to do that? I don't think Moxie is going to be like, hey, we dropped the ball on this format. I truly don't. Because like when I see him combining Brazilian numbers to make it look like the viewership numbers are great, do you really think they're gonna admit like defeat on like formats to an extent of we are gonna drastically change how these things work? Because across the board is like tragic, and I think it's like Karen was mentioned. Imagine like if that was like your last game of your career, you were in an empty closet where they were pumping in fan noise.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, I did not see the YouTube chat.
I will say this. I think one of the things that I don't necessarily agree with, and I've made a whole video on my channel about this, I don't agree with the idea that you should change the format in order to increase or decrease viewership. Obviously, to increase. Like, I don't buy. I think there's some correlation between format and viewership, but I think the majority, like the main reason of format should be like ease of understanding. It should be competitive integrity. It should be like the fun that happen. Like it should not be how many people are going to watch. It shouldn't be, oh, viewership is down, let's change the format. I just don't. I know that Riot really does think that way. Every single thing they do, except marketing, right? Every single thing they do is this going to increase the viewership? Is this going to increase viewership? Is this going to increase viewership because we're dying? Except for the one thing that will actually increase their viewership, which is marketing. I don't know how it works. I don't know why. They were doing it in 2024. It was working. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, we found something that works. Let's try to find something else. And whatever. I think with that in mind, they will likely change the format for 2026.
Oh, definitely.
Because they're like, oh, we need a better format because the viewership dropped because of the format. And they're going to blame the format. And like, the format is to blame, but is it to blame for like how much of the format drop, of the viewership drop? Like 10% of it? What about the other 90% of the drop? Like, I would argue that the rebrand was a huge, like the rebrand, you're like, okay, whatever. It's going to take a few years before we get back to where we were. Well, besides the rebrand, like the fact that you didn't market very well, right? You took all of your marketing efforts in 2024 and only kept like 1 or 2 of those things. And all the other stuff like kind of died out. And then you saw a drop instead of an increase. And you're like, I wonder why. So I try to put myself in Riot's shoes because of like, I mean, I've been watching them since LCS started, right?
Same,
and
yeah.
I kind of know how they do things. And I just don't believe that if we give them, if we're like, take us online, that they will go online and do it in a way where we're like, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted 4 days of gameplay with like double round robin best of 3s into a Swiss stage format where we have like 8 teams, double elim with like the best teams. Like we see C9 versus like Team Liquid and 100 Thieves and like all these like really cool matchups. I don't think that ends up happening. So I'd rather, I mean, the question that David Shynock put in chat, actually, I'm going to have to sit down and think about it. But at this point, is it even worth it being in front of the audience? Is it even worth it being in front of the crowd? And the question might be, the answer like might be no. Maybe you do go online for 3 weeks and like once a month, you do a small roadshow.
Here's what the one thing I learned from this year is that I never want to see regular seasons ever again. I think tournament format, and I think Call of Duty construct this like very well. I don't Riot is not going to do this. Obviously, it is wishful thinking, but I wish we had weekly tournaments that played toward like if you had like 7 weekly tournaments that played like you did it in like you did it towards like a league structure in the sense of you had points for every performance, like however you perform in like these tournaments. So let's just say it's like quarterfinals, right? Like you get knocked out in quarterfinals, you get 1 point. Like semifinals 2, grand finals, you win it 3 points. Kind of like how you do in soccer in some senses, just adding an extra point in there. But why? Like I do not want to see regular seasons anymore, especially if they're going to format them in such a way that you don't even get to see. Because like, how many times did our teams actually play in a regular season game this year?
A regular season game, we had one
We had one
best of
one
one,
best of one.
and then one best, and then two best of fives.
Why have we played
But
more
again,
best of
our
fives
teams
against you?
our teams have both made it to top three, both splits. Or I guess you guys haven't made top three yet, but like we went very far, right? If you look at Lions, for example, like how many times did Lions play Cloud9? Like just one. One best of one best of three.
Yeah. No, we played them at the start. We played two best of threes because they were in our
Oh, you
group.
played in split one. Okay.
We played them split one, and
Then
then we
Dig,
had
for
like
example.
the Vulcan like funeral series where he literally just
Oh,
landed.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh yeah, you guys were in the same group, but like the point stands, where it's like you don't really see these matchups very often.
And you could literally format it in a way so that you see every single matchup um in a split. And like every single, if you did this for free, obviously that time constraints because you have to shorten the split for MSI and for First Stand and Worlds. But it leads me on to my next thing. Can we please separate Valorant and League of Legends? Because I genuinely feel that the the combining of the two is hurting both leagues more than it actually is necessary.
You know what I don't understand? League of Legends is still a bigger game globally. Maybe in North America, Valorant viewership is better. I don't know that that's a fact, but
Oh,
League
it's
is still a better
100% a
game than
fact.
Val.
Yeah.
Why are we prioritizing Valorant over League of Legends? Why is the incumbent just being kicked into the closet? I know Val had a few days where they were in the closet, but like, if anything, Valorant should be the one complaining, "Hey, can we get our own studio?"
Do you know what it
What,
is?
like,
And I'll tell you why it
what?
is. Because Riot realized the problem. They fucked up with LCS so bad that they feel like this is an opportunity to do like a new franchise league from fresh. And even
Maybe,
then,
but like,
you're already
why?
starting to get complaints on the Valorant side.
Basically, you're like, oh, we have a golden goose. It's not giving eggs as often. Instead of feeding it the things that would make it lay eggs, they're like, oh, we'll just let it die and try to get another one. Like, just I don't know. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. To your format like point, I would. I'll be honest. I'm so open to formats at this point because I just think that the way that they structure their formats, like with the goals in mind, you want competitiveness, you want this, the fact that you're adding viewership onto that as a main metric just makes it very difficult to like actually have viewership, in my opinion. And so like I would be down for a format like that. I'm in general, I'm open to formats. I even said to this format before, I was like, I don't understand it. That's the only reason I'm against it. But now that I'm in it, okay, yeah, I really don't like
I
it.
just
Just give
don't
us
want
like
to see
Swiss.
regular
That would be
seasons anymore
better.
because they're progressively getting worse. We've exercised every single regular season like physically possible. You've done the group stage. You've done the cross like split league format where results carry over. Like you've done like the kickoff style event, which is still one of my favorites to this day. Like how you formatted that, how are we formatting kickoff better than fucking LTA? I really don't know. I'm so tired of seeing regular seasons.
I don't agree with you there. I'm fine. Just like give us something that we understand and like please market the league. Like for me, the hill that I will die on is like, can we just take some budget? Like can just uh who's someone higher up that probably has some money to spare? Uh
Do you know what's a damning
and Mark
statement
Merrill,
about?
Tryndamere just like
Do you
take
know
a
what's a
little bit of
damning
money
statement
and
about the state of like the formats. I
What?
miss best of ones. I miss the double round robin best of ones over this shit. I would take
Okay. Let's look at split two. Let's look at split two. Split two was like it was a single round robin, best of one
best of
into the
one.
group stage. Yeah, best of one into group stage. Wait, didn't they change and decide to make it best of threes instead? No, that was I'm thinking of last year. Never mind. Yeah, it was a single round. It was supposed to be a double round robin best of one. They're like, no, we're gonna make a change, single round robin into like the group stage with the best of threes into a double round, into a double elim best of five. Would you take that format over like
I'll do that. I'll
just a
take that.
singular
I would take
double?
that format every split.
No,
Just
no,
do that every split.
yeah, I would take that every split as well. Obviously, we can't do it split one because it's too short. But like, what I'm saying is like, at this point, I'm not even asking for a great format. Just give me something that I can like attach to, so that we
Do
can stop changing it and focus on the things that need to be focused on.
do like the splits need to all like they need to flow together. So split one needs to be like a watered down version of what like split two is like your bulk, like where you want to flesh out everything because you have like the time. And then split three should be a continuation. It should be another version of that. I never want to see pick and play ever again.
You want to know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
The finalists of last split in Cloud9 of FlyQuest. There's a good chance we don't see that matchup ever in split three. There is like a legitimate chance.
It's really
we'll talk
funny.
about Cloud9. Like it's coming up. It's coming up. We're gonna talk about Cloud9. There's a legitimate chance we just don't get to see them play. When in the past, when you had finalists, that was the first week of matchups. You always put the hype. Like we're not even gonna get that matchup. Come on.
Like sorry, I completely wrong. Like it's actually not like a unrealistic thing, like you said. It's crazy, considering how hype their best of fives were last split, and like we were building to
They were
like
some of the best.
they were some of
Yeah.
the best of fives we've seen in this league, and now like we were
In the
preparing
2020s for sure.
we were preparing like this big like ultimate ending between C9 and Fly,